Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today is November 23rd, 2025. Howard, were you surprised last week by the market reaction to Nvidia's earnings?
No surprise. I mean, listen, if we go zoom out to a monthly, you know, what's the surprise? Earnings go up, stock go up. If you're looking really close, yeah, weekly is just digesting. But if you're looking really close, it looks noisy. But if you zoom out, you see a stock stretched from what its 200 day. And so I don't know why people are all freaking out. At some point, it's going to touch it.
This is the
If not
50
break it,
months. 50 months.
50 months. So what is that? It's been a while since it touched it. Wow.
I mean, it touched it during the bear market in 2022.
Okay, so
And
there you
before
go.
that
So,
in
so
2020, yeah.
if you're day trading, it's stressful. If you're looking at, the stock, go to the numbers, right? Like the daily. So look at I mean, if you could look at it, if someone told you your earnings were going to go from 17 cents to 7.40, you could draw a chart, you could draw a line of the chart. Um, I think right here, it's just there's just I think it's still the open AI, it's Sam Altman's big mouth and crazy behavior all and you can feel it, right? Like he knows the problem. It's Google. Let's pull up a chart of Google.
Yeah.
Google's the problem in the room. It was the ugly step, failing search engine till about 6 months ago when it broke out to all-time highs and hasn't looked back, right? Just gapped and you haven't had a chance to get in it, right? Like it's just a dog sitting on its 50-month or whatever moving average, underperforming the QQQs. And I think a lot of people, assuming the market hangs in there, I think people will be surprised how Google continues to outperform, right? Like people are starting to realize it's game, set, and match. Um, when search, like if this is the new form of search, the better search engine matters. And Google, by all Gemini 3, is getting rave reviews. So, it's
Yeah. It seems like
so
they're
that's
ahead. Yeah.
and they don't need NVIDIA, right? And so that's the chart. Those are the two charts that sum it up. But
Yeah.
if you zoom out, both look fantastic, NVIDIA and,
I mean, of
and
course, we've been in the like best 10 years for tech probably
yeah,
history.
yeah.
Um,
But again, the network effect, it gets, if you're not leading in tech, and I know this from investing in hundreds of companies, it's, for every Robinhood, there's 1,000 that, 5,000 that just can't, get scale. And once you have scale, you have tremendous advantages. Doesn't mean you're going to not go sideways for a while, but to the victors go the spoils in the tech market. But you got to keep executing. And it is amazing that Google, Robinhood, NVIDIA can keep going like this. So kudos. But
yeah.
know your field position. I mean, if Google dropped to 230, it wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, if it went
Yeah.
below 200, I'd be Armageddon at
It's
that point.
completely normal for strong stocks in a bull market to trade above their rising 20-week moving average, which is basically the green line.
Yeah.
Uh, it's very normal. And also for the indices. And we've been seeing that, for example, QQQ, while definitely it's been showing relative weakness lately, and you can see that here,
Yeah.
it's still above its rising 20 week. It's still
Yeah.
closed above it.
Yeah.
So it's holding there, but I think from a technical perspective, if it loses last week's lows, I think it can drop and test the previous swing highs here.
Yeah. But if I saw the Qs at 400, I wouldn't even be shocked. We were just there in fucking March.
Yeah, a few months ago, for just plethora of
Nothing's
reasons.
changed, dude. The tariffs are still a mess. Trump doesn't know what he's doing. Not that anybody does, but like he really doesn't. And he loves tariffs. And, he loves, and volatility's back. I think what you're going to get here is, once you breach, the S&P breached its 50-day. So I think you're going to get some
Yeah,
volatility.
but that doesn't mean much yet. But
I
yeah,
just
it's
think you're going to get
possible.
some volatility.
Yeah, it's completely possible to see a pullback to the 200-day, I think,
Yeah,
the previous swing high
yeah,
of the year, which is
yeah. You should
610.
be thrilled. People
610,
should be
600.
thrilled.
Yeah, if this happens, yeah, I mean, every like 10% plus correction typically offers much better uh, entry points.
Yeah, let's pull up one not in tech, Eli Lilly, which is a tech company masked inside.
Yeah.
This is why you index. This is why I index, right? Like this, I don't know what the hell. Like I don't know how many drugs they have, and I don't use Ozempic. I have friends on it. I don't know. Like, but how do you like the catalyst Ozempic on a $1 trillion company? Um, go out to the monthly. I don't know. Would I have held Eli Lilly from 2017? No. So kudos. But this is the case for indexing right here
Yeah,
with
but
Lilly.
it's been trending ever since this breakout here at
That's what I'm
90.
saying. But if you, it's a
Yeah.
10x inside of, no one talks about Eli Lilly for all the coverage of Tesla and whatever. Again, it's a 10 bag. It's $1 trillion company.
Yeah.
Is Tesla $1 trillion?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They are.
Is it?
Yeah. 1.3.
Yeah. Consider the amount of chatter that Tesla gets versus Eli Lilly as a brand. So again, like there's more out there. Healthcare is strong in this rotation. XLV, I think we've been talking about it for about a month or two.
Yeah, XOV definitely showing relative strength here on multiple time frames. Biotech, medical instruments, just anything healthcare related has seen an inflow of money lately, and
You can look at the weekly.
we cannot really say that it's just for safety reasons because biotech is the riskiest
No, and
asset
Eli Lilly's a growth stock.
imaginable.
I don't know
Yeah.
what let me look up the components of it quickly. You can go to Koifin, look up the components really easily. Just give me a second, everybody, but keep going, Ivan.
Yeah, I mean, tremendous relative strength. The biotech, which is the riskiest sector out of all, is just acting that as if there's no correction going on right now. It just, even last week, so many of those biotech stocks just continue to,
Yeah, Eli Lilly, Johnson and Johnson, number one and two, they make up 25%. ABBV.
yeah, or whatever that was the, AbbVie, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Plus, we see
Another breakout. Give me a
acquisitions in the
monthly.
space and
Give me a monthly, Ivan. No. Beauty. Never even heard of it. Ethical drugs. I love that. That's like
yeah.
tasty cigarettes. Um, and then so XLV's been dragged down by United Healthcare Group, which is the fourth largest component.
Probably
So
used to be bigger before it got halved.
Merck, Abbott Labs, iSurge. XLV is really a great ETF. It's been a great ETF. And if
Let's see.
United crack this year kind of slowed it down. That whole pullback was probably United. Okay, so healthcare is massive, and and how are the financials doing, right?
They're just in no man's land, just kind
Yeah,
of
I mean
going
they've done
sideways.
great.
Well, testing their 200 days, so definitely showing relative
Yeah.
weakness lately,
Yeah.
relative strength of 45, which is even below worse than half,
Yeah.
than more than half. So they're looking a bit suspicious here. Obviously, that will depend on the overall market. But there's definitely money is not really leaving the market. Money is just looking for other places in the market to hide currently. As right now, I believe many market participants think that the tech sector is experiencing its second uh, deep mind moment of the year. The first one was like in end of January when we saw that gap down here in Nvidia and all of the AI related stocks. So the
Uh-huh.
market the DeepMind, the Chinese company that said that they've achieved similar results with much less investments. And the market got spooked, sold off for a few days, but very quickly recovered. And then that ensuing sell-off that you see here is tariff related. Um, and now I think we're seeing something similar, but this time DeepMind is Google. And
Yeah, a little different than China.
many market participants are wondering, what if their model is the right one and everybody else is just overspending and they're never going to see any return on that money and they're just throwing the baby with the bathwater, like everyone related to AI that's not Google is being under tremendous pressure in the past few weeks, while Google just keeps rising and making new all-time highs.
Well,
So
again, much like search, Ivan, if this is kind of a winner take all, um,
yeah,
this could be a turning point with Gemini 3. Again, we'll see. Like again, I think Google's long-term advantage is data. Okay. And they own YouTube, they got Gmail, they got Maps, they got the Android, they've got I'm forgetting a ton of things. They got Waymo.
yeah,
They're an ETF. Like again, like sometimes it outperforms the QQQ and sometimes it doesn't. But Google right now is outperforming the QQQ because it's an integrated system built on
yeah,
top
by a
of
lot.
data.
They're 60% year to date, and the Qs are up about 17, so by a lot, which is very rare to see such big outperformance by
Well,
a
it
trillion
had
dollar
kind of
company.
tracked it for 4 or 5 years and
Yeah,
underperformed a little bit. So again, now it's outperformed. Remember, and the markets we're waiting for some, OpenAI was first and Microsoft was like a deep partner. But I think in the end, um, people are getting a little nervous about the spend, right? If Google's going to win this, and again, it's still probably too early to tell, but the market's reacting to the idea that Google and Apple not spending anything and can partner with Google. So Apple's the other sneaky winner. Remember, Michael Parekh and I have been doing Trends and Friends, and all we talked about was Apple and Google, right? And they were not sexy stories, but the tortoise, what is it, tortoise and hare, Apple's winning this race by just avoiding the battle, right? Because they have the distribution. They got the retail distribution, they got the iPhone. Google has the data and they also have Android, right? So Apple and Google, like they're in a great position, right? For especially if AI goes to Google, because they have Android and they'll kind of deal with Apple. So again, like this is why those two stocks are relatively outperforming the rest of FANG. Right. Is there anything else that's interesting? I'm trying to think. Obviously crypto, but I don't follow it closely. That's in a massive sell-off.
yeah. There's been under tremendous pressure, but it's off the lows, bouncing over the weekend, and the previous I think swing highs for Bitcoin's right around 74, 75,000. So I wouldn't be surprised if the market weakness continues for it to test it. But there's also a lot of money waiting to buy the dip there.
Yeah. No, I bought some Bitcoin this weekend, just straight up Bitcoin in the low 80s. Um, I was seeing that spot buyers of these ETFs are now underwater on average. So for all the hype of Bitcoin ETFs, you're underwater.
Yeah, a lot of
Mm,
Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs that are, I think at some point some of them are going to blow up. Not all of them, obviously. If they're, highly leveraged and their average price is, way above the current spot price, we'll
yeah.
probably see some issues. Probably not
Yeah.
MSTR, even though their average is like what 74,000. But even if it goes below, that doesn't mean that they'll be forced to sell.
Oof.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm glad I never chased
they
this.
they're finally back to like trading at near net asset value.
Yeah, which is generally what happens. Then they start trading below net asset value, right? Because it's so easy to buy Bitcoin in 1,000 other places.
Yeah,
Um,
people just use it as a leveraged way to speculate, but then there are a thousand other ways to do it. Like it's not the only one anymore.
yeah, that's it. Like I said, the thing that ends up hurting MicroStrategy is that you can get Bitcoin 1,000 different ways. And he's a great storyteller, and maybe the story's up. A relative strength of five. So you're back to early 2024 prices, and I think over that time, Bitcoin's up a lot. So do you have a chart of Bitcoin since 20?
Uh, I mean, I can pull up on a different platform.
Yeah, don't worry. But I think it's
Yeah,
underperforming now, to Bitcoin itself. I'm trying
yeah.
to think what else is interesting to me.
There
I
are a
think
lot of interesting
Oracle, the
things.
Oracle chart's interesting to me if we pull up Oracle. It's
Yeah,
another one that
anything AI related really getting
no, but I think
smashed.
it's more like look at the OpenAI orders that juiced it from 200 to 340.
Yeah, I know it's
So I
back.
think this is like really telling. And I bought some Oracle on Friday just for a trade. It stopped below 190, but um, look at it's just giving back the fake. This is when the whole and again, we may be doing ourselves a favor by killing the bubble before it really became a bubble here. Because look what Oracle did. It went from like 180 to 340.
Yeah, even more than that. Yeah,
Okay,
but
so
yeah,
so if you think about it, and that was what, how big a stock is that? It's never really had massive growth.
yeah, they're like, where is it? 560 billion right now. So I
Yeah,
guess
so
they used to be a
it was
trillion,
almost a
almost a 30.
trillion.
Yeah,
It was almost a trillion. So I think this is a really another telling sign of the Google Gemini story, right? OpenAI can go spend all it wants, but if your model isn't as good as like what are you going to spend it on? Are those orders real if OpenAI all of a sudden kind of loses market share? It's
yeah.
really
I mean,
there's a lot
they're
of
all
stress in this
connected.
system. I mean, that's why we got the volatility here, right? Like the bets went from like Google losing to people having to really rethink what happens if Google and Apple continue winning.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
playing a catch up.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Like it's exciting for me because I've been in Google and Apple and
Yeah,
it was kind of like almost giving up. And it's some good lessons in here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Hood's interesting to me. I mean, I'd love to see it in the 70s or 80s. I mean, the retailers,
yeah. They seem headed for a test of the 200 day at least, like which is like 87 right now.
yeah, I was
But
thinking
it
of
could
going
be the
somewhere.
previous swing high, 66. So that's
Yeah,
all
I
calls
almost
another
traded
of
it, but
question.
I'd love to see it in a fast tape down below 80. There's so many. Um, anyways, buddy, uh, what else is going on? I'm trying to
I
think, is
mean,
it
on
software
the long
related?
side, it's all about Google and biotech. I mean, if you're talking about trading near 52-week highs and setting up constructively, everything else has been hit in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Even stocks like, Amazon that supposedly they have I mean, and I do
Yeah,
believe
back
they
trading
have a
below its
mold.
gap. I mean, again, Cloudflare, NET, which is, one of my favorite companies. I don't own it right now, but like
Yeah.
gave up the gap up.
Yeah, they're also back to the 200 day in the previous
Again, it's not
high
like
here.
damage. This company's still 64, no, what is it?
Yeah,
600 million, 600
64.
billion?
64.
$64 billion
Yeah.
company trading at, I don't know, 200 times earnings, next year's earnings. Must be nice. So again, it's not like these are like epic buying opportunities, but you can just see how people are trapped, right? And valuation doesn't matter till it matters. And if it starts to matter right now, these stocks can drift to, another 50% down easily. If, again, I don't know. So I think that a lot of people just got trapped at Amazon breakout, the Oracle breakout, you know,
Yeah.
all on the heels of like a startup who then went and said the next week, "Oh, the government will backstop me." Like, I mean, what the fuck? Guy's like 11 years old saying shit like that. So we've kind of wrestled out the froth. Like if we look at like the quantum stocks, they've all like the froth is disappearing very quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, they basically you've given up their September
Yeah,
uh
more than that.
parabolic move.
Right. So we were talking about this for weeks, saying if and Nvidia is down 10%, they'll be down 50%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Nvidia's down 15, they're down 50. So
yeah. So the other ones that have given up this ghost are like Trump. Look at Trump, DJT. I mean, this is headed to zero. There's no one left to buy this. I mean, and he created his own coin, so you don't, why would you need to own DJT? So there's a lot of fluff coming out. So that's a good sign, right?
No.
Um, and then on the financial side, Affirm, all these companies like delinquencies are rising, but they don't count. Affirm was a stock that I was long for a bit, but I got stopped out quickly. This is trouble, right? Who's left to buy now, pay later, right? So delinquencies are on the rise of credit card companies. It doesn't even track this stuff. Look at XYZ, which is Square. He'll change his name again, but
Look at
dog
PayPal. They've been
and
like
PayPal
completely
struggling.
demolished
Yeah.
uh,
So there's a
just
lot of weight in the
just a
economy,
month
and
ago.
prices are rising. What are the grocery stocks doing? Like,
They're not doing well.
yeah, they can't be because there's inflation like
Here's,
crazy.
I mean, they should do well, like if there's inflation, because they
Oh,
should make more money. But here's
what a
Sprouts
run Sprouts had! Holy shit!
down, yeah, but down 50% in the past few months.
What the hell is that doing at? Wow, what a run!
Well, their earnings were growing at the time. Look, from 125 to 5 right now.
Yeah. So now it's flat. Okay. So grocers, they're stressing the system, but I think you got to keep an eye on the Google versus Nvidia trade. Like it's a real trade out there. The Oracle, Amazon reversals, Cloudflare reversals, software struggling. Um, and then keep an eye on the financials, which look okay, but they could be rolling over.
Yeah, they could be. They're showing relative weakness. You can see in
Yeah.
the past few months, few weeks.
Okay,
All right,
buddy.
Howard.
See
Thank
everybody.
you.
Okay.